welcome back to a brand new video. We are getting closer and closer to the NBA draft, and today we're going to be rebuilding another big market team in the Los Angeles Clippers, when we're going to be adding two nice first round picks to this team, and one of them will be Collin Sexton, the other one will be determined. So basically we're going to make this team into a decent team today, hopefully. And first things first, I want to go ahead and make Doc Rivers still the head coach, and he is, because Doc Rivers is still the head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, and it looks like it will be that way going forward. Now the Los Angeles Clippers, as soon as they sign Doc Rivers hates rebuild. So you know this team is trying to stay competitive after they just signed Doc Rivers. So that's basically the approach we're going to take to this team. And one thing I did want to talk about is I know in previous videos I actually redid my league file that I always used, and I went back and I got Dirk Nowitzki back in the game. I know some of you guys were very disappointed when I did some Mavericks rebuilds and Dirk wasn't around. I was pretty disappointed about it too. I was just too lazy to go change it, but I'm like, you know what, you guys are my subscribers and you guys deserve to definitely see everyone. I even I did someone else, I just can't remember who it was. They were about to retire, and I actually I used the override to bring them back in the league. I just can't remember who it was, but Dirk Nowitzki is back in the game. So definitely hope you guys are happy about that. So we have the 12th and 13th pick. I'm the head coach, Doc Rivers, and we still need to figure out what we're going to do with this team. So DeAndre Jordan is a free agent going into this offseason. Actually is a player option, but probably won't accept it, I'm going to assume. He might accept it in real life. I could see him doing that potentially, but I could also see him declining it to maybe go chase another team. Lou Williams is under contract. Tobias Harris is under 1 year left. Avery Bradley's a free agent as well, which that could go either way. Beverly, I think, is a team option, so they can bring him back for one more season. Austin Rivers has a player option. Gallinari is under a contract. I mean, he played decent down the stretch of the season, so can't be too disappointed by that. Montrezl Harrell is a free agent. I'm just kind of going through this team because I didn't really pay attention to much Clippers games this previous season. So definitely am excited about doing a rebuild on this team today. So definitely need to make a decision, but first things first, the NBA draft. Let's get Collin Sexton at least, and then we'll worry about it. We'll worry about the other pick when it's on the board. So the 12th pick, let's hopefully get Collin Sexton. That's my plan anyway. 23 trade offers. So let's see what we got at number 12. Let's see if Collin Sexton is offered to us, because I will be wanting to get him if he is. He probably isn't, so he is not. All right, hopefully he's still on the board. And I'm not seeing him. Or Troy Brown Jr. Collin Sexton is not here. So draft summary. Okay, he should be on there. Maybe I'm just missing him. So he wasn't taken yet. So Collin Sexton, where are you? Collin Sexton. Where is Collin Sexton at? All right, so I must just be missing him. Oh, there he is, right there. So I'm just blind today. So Collin Sexton, we got him with the 12th pick, and there's still quite a bit of nice prospects still left. So we get Collin Sexton with the 12th pick. So what should we get for the next pick is what's going to be interesting. So the 12th pick, we bring in Collin Sexton, which is awesome. All right, 22 trade offers. I don't need to look at them. I'm just going to make this pick here. With the 13th pick, who else is left? So I saw Kevin Knox. I saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I saw Kyrie Thomas. And I also saw Robert Williams III, Jerome Robinson, Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, however you say his name, Landry Shamet. So Gary Trent Jr. So if I'm the Clippers, I think Kevin Knox would be a nice pickup. I think Miles Bridges could be a nice pickup as well. I just think he'll be taken. Or maybe, yeah, I think Miles Bridges might be taken before, though. I'm not sure. Miles Bridges, Jalen Brunson. But I think I might take either Robert Williams III or Kevin Knox, just because I haven't taken them before. Now, with possibly Kevin Knox is a small forward, with possibly DeAndre Jordan walking, I think I might take Robert Williams III here. So let's take Robert Williams III, just because I've never had these two in a rebuild before. So definitely going to be taking them, and I'll see you guys in free agency. All right, we're going to go ahead and sign both Collin Sexton and Robert Williams III to their rookie deal. So we're going to be doing that. And then for the rookie or player options, we got DeAndre Jordan declining. Beverly accepts. Rivers accepts. Milos Milos Teodosic accepts, and Wesley Johnson accepts. The man that got his ankles broken by James Harden. The most disrespectful one of them all. So definitely okay, I guess, with that. Austin Rivers accepts his player option to play with his daddy some more. And DeAndre Jordan is a free agent now. So now I want to look at something real quick, though. Player stats for the season. Lou Williams led the way. Tobias Harris was 18. Gallinari had 15. Austin Rivers with 15. Avery Bradley had 14. 12 for Patrick Beverly. DeAndre Jordan 12. 11. Is that really how it went? There was a lot of guys in double digits. Holy crap. But I mean, a lot of these guys were traded. And Patrick Beverly, I think, only played like 5 games or something like that. I don't even know how many games he played. Maybe it wasn't 5. Maybe that's a low. Are these accurate stats? I mean, I could see that being accurate. All right, so I was just curious. But like I said, qualifying offers, Montrezl Harrell, definitely could bring him back. Wouldn't be too upset about that. But moratorium day, I don't think, based off how the team is looking right now, I don't think I'm going to be bringing back Avery Bradley. But Beverly, I think what I'm going to be doing here, I'm just going to have Beverly and Collin Sexton start in the backcourt together. And then I'm going to have Austin Rivers off the bench as my 6th man. Basically is my thinking right now. And then as far as Gallinari, is probably going to be my starting small forward because he's getting paid a lot of money. I'm going to let him start. Tobias Harris will be my power forward still. And then does Robert Williams go down at center? He does. Okay, so maybe he will be a backup power forward to Tobias Harris. We could also move Tobias Harris to the small forward if necessary, but I won't be doing it this season. But as far as cap holds go, DeAndre Jordan, I think this man's going to be walking. So I'm just going to re-announce him right now. Montrezl Harrell, going to keep him. Tyrone Wallace, I could see him bringing back. And I don't think I'm going to be bringing back Avery Bradley either. And that means we have $7 million in cap space. So not a lot of money to be used. But other than that, player contracts. Tobias Harris is going to be a free agent. Austin Rivers is going to be a free agent. Lou Williams is still under contract. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about Lou Williams. He'll be my 6th man. What am I talking about? So Lou Williams, I totally forgot about him. So maybe we won't be doing it this way. Maybe we'll be doing it like this. Collin Sexton. All right, Beverly's going to be moving back to the point guard. Maybe he'll come off the bench. So Beverly and Sexton. And then Austin Rivers will start, I guess. And Lou Williams will be the 6th man because he has always been the 6th man. And then, yeah, so I guess we'll be doing it that way instead. And maybe I should have selected Kevin Knox, but it's too late now. But as far as everything else goes, I think we have every position we really need. Besides a center, we could use a center. So as far as the center goes out here, we want to stay competitive. Brook Lopez could be an option. Greg Monroe, Zaza Pachulia, Noah Noel, JaVale McGee. Alex Len would be an intriguing signing for sure for the Clippers. I could give him a 1-year deal, see how it goes maybe. Clint Capella would be awesome as well. And this Cantor could be an intriguing. Ekepe Udo, I don't know how you say his name. Nerlens Noel, probably not. Ed Davis, Brandon Wright, Festus Ezeli. So let's see if we can get... We do get Alex Len, so that's what I wanted. So Alex Len will be the starting center, I guess, of this team. I very well could have brought back DeAndre Jordan, but I just don't think that the Clippers... I think he'll be wanting to go to a new team, just my opinion. And then Chris Bosh is getting a lot of offers, so very interesting. I don't think he'll be able to ever play basketball again, unfortunately. Isaiah Thomas would be another intriguing option for the Clippers. If they don't take Collin Sexton, they could bring in Isaiah Thomas to the Los Angeles Clippers. Marcus Smart, another one. Derek Favors, intriguing as well. Michael Beasley. But, I mean, we're getting Alex Len. Can't complain too much about that. And then I'm probably just going to go ahead. And he gets a 2-year, so let's just match that. So, now, when we look at the team, Beverly, Sexton, Milos Teodosic is there as well. Lou Williams, Austin Rivers will run the shooting guard. Small forwards, we got Gallinari, Sam Decker. We got Tobias Harris, Montrezl Harrell. And we got Robert Williams. We got Alex Len, Boban Marjanovic. So, I think Robert Williams will probably be sent to the G League. And then the small forward situation, Gallinari, I guess will be starting. But if there's another small forward I could pick up, that would be great. Kyle Anderson would be another nice. Can't afford him, though. Small forwards, Royce O'Neal, Glenn Robinson III, Norman Powell. We'll just leave it. So we'll leave it, and let's just go ahead and go with the flow of this first season. So Lou Williams goes down 2. We'll probably be trading him at the NBA trade deadline, because I honestly think that's why the Clippers gave him the contract that they did, so they could trade him next season, I believe. But we'll have to wait and see if that's what the Clippers thinking was. But I forgot I'm the GM of the team now, so I mean, I guess I probably will be trading him at the trade deadline to get a first-round pick for him or something. On tap potential, let's throw this at Collin Sexton. That way he could possibly be great this season. And now, let's go ahead and send Robert Williams III to the G League. We can send one more player to the G League as well. Now, who I want that to be, I have no idea. We could also send Collin Sexton, but I think I want him to play right now. No young players over here. Boban, we got Milos Teodosic. Sendarius Thornwell is a nice young player. Let's just go ahead and send him there as well. And now, when we look at the team, Beverly. So they got Beverly starting, Lou Williams starting. They got Gallinari. They got Tobias Harris, Alex Len, Austin Rivers, Montrezl Harrell, Collin Sexton, and Boban Marjanovic. And there's not much. I can't really complain. That's not a bad rotation whatsoever. My only thing is this. I'm going to have Collin Sexton starting. And Beverly's going to be coming off the bench. So Collin Sexton is going to get 29 minutes. And then Lou Williams is going to get 32 minutes off the bench. Actually, if I can, I'll give him 34. So more than Austin Rivers, but that's still how it's going to go. So let's see how this rotation goes. I think Tobias Harris has to be the #1 option for now. And then we'll see how it goes from there, honestly. Hopefully it goes well. And Lou Williams. Let's have Lou Williams as the second option to Tobias Harris. All right. So now let's see how this team does. I don't expect them to be very good, but I expect them to be okay, I guess. So let's see how it goes. And hopefully this Clippers team doesn't do too bad. At the NBA trade deadline, we have a trade made up. And this one is interesting to me. Lou Williams, Sam Dekker for Chris Middleton, Chang Fry, and a first-round pick. Now, reason being is the Milwaukee Bucks get a 6-man in Lou Williams, I guess. And they already have Malcolm Brogdon, who they could start at the 2 guard if they wanted to. So Lou Williams would basically be the 6-man. And Malcolm Brogdon could start for the Bucks. Chris Middleton and Malcolm Brogdon are both about to be free agents for this team. So could potentially Chris Middleton, maybe they're like, we don't want to pay both Malcolm Brogdon and Chris Middleton. So they're like, you know what? If we get Lou Williams, maybe for 2 seasons, see how this team does. He's going to help us become more of championship contenders. Although Chris Middleton is very good, let's just see how this would work. So I'm going to trade for Chris Middleton right here. And they don't want to do it. They want to give Austin Rivers as well, who is about to be a free agent. Now, I am the GM. Doc Rivers, you are not the GM. Although I don't want to take on Matthew Dellavedova's contract. I really just realized I threw Matthew Dellavedova in there. And now they want Boban and Juwan Evans, but they still want to give me that contract. I'll give you Juwan Evans. How about that? And they still want to give me Matthew Dellavedova's contract. I don't want Matthew Dellavedova's contract. I wouldn't be caught dead giving that. I just can't do it. So what about another second rounder? And they still don't do it. They want to give me Matthew Dellavedova's contract so badly. All right. This is a big trade, but we're doing this. We're doing this thing. We get Matthew Dellavedova, I guess. We get Chris Middleton. I mean, there's no reason for 2 second rounders to be in here. We also get a first round pick out of it. So let's make this trade go through. I explained my reasoning behind it. And right now we're a decent team. Chris Middleton, maybe they give him a big fat contract extension. And bam, you got Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris leading the way for this team. That'd be an interesting lead. Like, it would be definitely interesting to see these 2 lead a team. And maybe you add one more player to that mix with Collin Sexton there as well. And this team could start to look pretty good going forward. Now, the question is, Chris Middleton is undecided. I could see the Clippers maybe getting something done if they were to grab a guy like Chris Middleton, like just re-sign him right away. Austin Rivers will be a free agent, so I didn't have to get rid of Austin Rivers, which is nice. Wesley Johnson, but now since Lou Williams is gone, my 6-man will now be Austin Rivers, and I'm going to go ahead, give him $13 million for 3 years. Why not? You know what? We'll do it. So now when we look at the rotation, this is going to be the rotation. So we got Beverly, Chris Middleton, Gallinari, Tobias Harris, Alex Len, Austin Rivers, Montrezl Harrell, Collin Sexton, and now Dellavedova has stepped up into the rotation. I really don't want Dellavedova getting any minutes because we already have Collin Sexton and Patrick Beverley. And this is where Beverley, you hit the bench. You get 22 minutes. And this is where Collin Sexton gets 31. Get Chris Middleton. Very nice. So Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris are basically going to be leading the way. So let's go. Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris together scoring as the scoring options. Gallinari is still a nice scoring option as well. So this is an interesting team for sure, and I think it's going to get even more interesting when we add Robert Williams the third to the mix, or is it the second? I can't remember now. But as soon as we add him to the mix, it is the third. As soon as we add, like I said, add him, I think this team is going to be very good going forward. Well, at the end of the season, Alvin Gentry is your coach of the year. Russell Westbrook, of course, still MVP. An All-NBA first team. Very interesting. All right. And all-rookie first team, Collin Sexton, not on the team, but he is on all-rookie second team. 8th in the Western Conference, where is basically where I would potentially see the Clippers going. So, Tobias Harris led the way. Collin Sexton with 14.9. And Chris Middleton with 14.7. Would love to see a little bit more out of Chris Middleton, especially when I'm going to have him as the lead guy maybe going forward. So, facing New Orleans Pelicans in the first round, that means we're probably playing AD and DeMarcus Cousins, which doesn't bode well for anyone down low, as far as anyone on my team down low, because that is just not that's just disaster. That's just not a very good defensive matchup. Yeah, so, I was about to say, where's Anthony Davis at? And yeah, so, Tobias Harris and Alex Len are not going to be able to guard DeMarcus Cousins or Anthony Davis, so that's not going to work. I mean, I don't think anyone can really guard those two, but still. And the Warriors win the championship. What a shock. Okay, now let's go ahead and see if we can make this team any better this offseason. Dirk retires with the Washington Wizards. Wow. Okay, Pau Gasol retires with the Spurs, and Jamal Crawford retires with the Timberwolves. All right. League meetings. I actually see Jamal Crawford probably going to the Warriors this offseason, unfortunately. Or maybe to join a team with LeBron on it, just so he can get to the NBA Finals, because that man does deserve to be in the NBA Finals. Let's be honest with ourselves. The Clippers, we have the 20th pick via Milwaukee, and we have, what else do we have? We have the, where's the other pick? Do we not have another pick? I thought we did. Celtics via Los Angeles Clippers. Maybe we don't have a pick. All right, that's fine. Whatever, I guess we don't have a pick. All right, so staff signing, Doc Rivers still the head coach. And now as far as the NBA draft goes, we have the 20th pick, and that's it. All right, so the 20th pick, Austin Rivers got signed long term. Danilo Gallinari is still under contract. Montrezl Harrell, Collin Sexton, Robert Williams III, and Dellavedova. So Dellavedova and Gallinari are still under contract on my team, which sucks. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be attaching the 20th pick with Gallinari and see if someone will take on Gallinari's contract for one season, because I don't want him. Serge Ibaka, Trey Lyles. Serge Ibaka would be, no, we already have a Landry Shamet. You know what? I think that Greg Popovich would get good use out of Danilo Gallinari. So why not? I'll take on Landry Shamet, and you give me a first-round pick. Okay. So one more thing I want to do is get rid of Matthew Dellavedova, and I'll give a future second-rounder up. He's a decent backup point guard, so, I mean, someone would take him on, right? The Jazz would take him on, so that's cool. And now, okay, I definitely didn't need to get those first-rounders. That was pretty unrealistic. Did I literally just get the 10th pick? Okay, no, I didn't. I was about to say, I mean, how did I just get that? All right, transaction. I definitely didn't need a first-rounder from the Jazz for Dellavedova. I don't think they would ever do that. So, just because that just happened, I'm going to be giving back that pick, because that is really unrealistic. I was just doing that really fast. So, the Jazz, take back your pick. Just give me a second-rounder. And, yeah, all right. So, now, when we look at this team, cap holds, Chris Middleton, Tobias Harris. So we got to sign both these guys. Is these really the two guys we want leading our team going forward? That is something we got to decide. Wesley Johnson, Channing Frye, all these guys will be gone. Alex Len, Beverly. I want to bring you back, but then again, I really don't. So we got to decide. Are those the two we really want to go with going forward? So we'll have to see about that. But now, skip over the NBA draft. Rookie signing. Second rounder pick, then wasn't really. Chris Middleton declined his $13 million player option and qualifying offers and moratorium today. So, basically all we have under contract right now is Collin Sexton, Landry Shamet, Austin Rivers, Montrezl Harrell, and Robert Williams III. So, it's not looking too good right about now. We definitely need to bring in some new players And as far as contracts, we have 33 mil in cap space. So basically, we don't have. Well, I mean, we shouldn't. We have a lot more, but let's just go ahead and renounce both these guys because they're going to want more money than that. So about 75 mil in cap space to bring back whoever we please. So maybe I shouldn't have done what I just did, but you know what? It's whatever. Okay, now, like I said, Chris Middleton, how much money do you want? 28 mil for 4 years. That is a lot. Tobias Harris, how much money you want? You basically want the same amount of money. So that would be pretty much half of our cap space. So 27 mil for 3 years. And you know what? Just because I think it's a new, different kind of it's different. So you know what? I'm going to sign both of them back if possible. And now, who else do I want to bring into this team? Hopefully a decent center maybe. I don't want to bring back Alex Len again though, because that just doesn't sound right. All right, Hassan Whiteside is available as well. DeAndre, Dwight Howard, Vucevic. Now, well, let's give Hassan. Oh my, let's not give Hassan Whiteside a contract actually. Jonas Valanciunas. No, these players want a lot of money. Holy crap. Alex Len, JaVale McGee, Karl Towns, Jokic wants less money than these other guys do. So you know, well, let's throw Jokic a contract too. All right, so we can get. All right, so we can either get. Now, would Jokic come to the Clippers realistically? I mean, there's a possibility, but I think there's a big possibility he'll stay loyal to the Denver Nuggets as well. So I'm going to go Tobias Harris, Chris Middleton, and I'm going to say Nikola Jokic coming to the Clippers sounds pretty unrealistic. And let's go Tobias Harris, Chris Middleton. We have them back on the team now. And now, as far as centers go, we can maybe bring in Dwight Howard for 2 years, maybe something like that. Paul Millsap would be intriguing as well, possibly, if we could afford him. I don't know if we could afford him though. So 22 mil for 3 years. Can't even afford Dwight Howard. So probably, I mean, if we traded Austin Rivers' contract, we probably could afford Dwight Howard, but is that really worth it? Robert Williams III, Montrezl Harrell, getting rid of him, not really worth it for Dwight Howard. So we got Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris so far. And now Dwayne Dedmon, I guess we could bring him in possibly. 6 mil, 5.6 mil for 2 years. And he doesn't even want to come to this team. All right, so now Alex Len is still a free agent. And now we look at the team. We have 19 mil still in cap space. So basically, we wouldn't even have had to trade very much to bring in. So Collin Sexton, Austin Rivers, Chris Middleton, Tobias Harris could play the small forward. I never really thought about that. So let's do that. Let's have Tobias Harris at the small forward, back to his natural position. That way Robert Williams could possibly play the 4. All right, I like that. So it's looking good so far. And now we need a center. Still need a center. That's like the #1 thing right now. So we could get Dwight Howard. We could probably afford him, honestly. And you know what? That's the next available guy we can get. So I'm going to go ahead and throw him. I can't throw him a contract right now. I literally need 3 mil in cap space. Now, who's biting the bullet on this one? I guess Landry. That rule just doesn't apply to me. Okay. Let's just turn these off right now. Okay. Now, Landry Shamet. I'm not even sure if this is going to still give me enough money to get Dwight Howard, but we can bring in Malcolm Brogdon for 18 mil. Nah. Joakim Noah. Let's just go ahead and trade Landry Shamet for a 2nd rounder or something. Patton, just give me a 2nd rounder Timberwolves or something. Like, there's no reason to. Maybe not. No, not. They can't even afford him. All right, Bucks, can you afford Landry Shamet? No, you cannot. Who else can? The Bulls, can you afford Landry Shamet? You can't. All right. So the Bulls have been getting out some money. The Warriors, no. All right. How about the Blazers? Can they afford him? No, probably not. All right. The Thunder? No. Okay. Who else? The Suns, maybe? They can afford him. All right. So cool. All right. Now, could we get Dwight Howard? Possibly. So let's bring in Dwight Howard. Okay, we still can't really afford him. We're going to have to cut his money by a lot. I doubt he accepts this. But you know what? Crazier things have happened. 21.5 mil for 2 seasons. He does accept. All right, so we got Dwight Howard. All right, so now We got Dwight Howard for 2 seasons. Okay. Collin Sexton, Chris Middleton, Austin Rivers, Tobias Harris, Montrezl Harrell, Robert Williams III, and Dwight Howard. The spacing is going to be horrible if we don't get a stretch big here soon. You go down. You go down. So, I mean, we're just going to probably have... Let's just sign another small forward. Small forward. Justice Winslow would be nice, but we can't afford him now. Wilson Chandler could also be. Stanley Johnson. You know, he needs a new start. Maybe him in LA would be nice. Small forwards. Ariza. Let's go Stanley Johnson. Okay, never mind. He's back to the Pistons. All right, small forwards. Still can't afford Justice Winslow. That would be perfect. KCP. Never thought about that. KCP could be nice, although that doesn't really hit. I mean, shooting guards, Wayne Ellington, Michael Beasley, Troy Daniels. KCP, I'll bring him in. He's a nice little... Thaddeus Young was available, wasn't he? I could have definitely brought him in. Oh, well. Dwight Howard goes down 1. And now, this team is definitely interesting. It's competitive, right? And that's basically what you want to see. So, that's what we did. We basically just made this team stay competitive. That's the mindset of the Clippers, so that's my mindset. So now, advance to next season. Now, I have a lot of players on this team, but we got Collin Sexton, Chris Middleton, Tobias Harris, Montrezl Harrell, Dwight Howard, Austin Rivers, KCP, Robert Williams, and... Wow, okay, Darius Miller. All right, you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't mind Darius Miller being on this team. All right, so definitely interesting. Should I still do this, though? Should I still potentially start... Should I start KCP at the small forward, maybe? Or Chris... All right, actually, let's do this. I know you guys are basically... You guys are going to be... All right, so now, Tobias Harris and Chris Middleton. All right, now, let's do this again. But this time, Tobias Harris... Yeah. Collin Sexton, Austin Rivers, Tobias Harris, Chris Middleton. That's a nice rotation. Montrezl Harrell, KCP, Robert... Yes, I can live with that. That's going to work for me. All right, so... No preference. I'm just going to see how it goes. I think this team could make the playoffs. Definitely. Hopefully they do. I'm going to turn trades off. No moves will be made. I think this team is decent. It's probably the most mediocre, middle-of-the-road team I've ever made. So, hopefully, it's okay. Alright, guys. At the end of the season, Collin Sexton is your most improved player. So, very awesome. Alright, guys. So, I can live with that. Collin Sexton is going to be a star going forward in this league. And he's showing that this year on the Los Angeles Clippers is now. So we basically had a nice kind of big 3. So Tobias Harris, Chris Middleton as well. But, you know, these 2 players are being paid a lot of money to score more than this. I mean, I signed you 2. Yes, you guys are middle of the road players. You guys are not number 1 options by any means. But you know what? Just because I've never done something like this before, I decided, you know, let's see how Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris would do if they were the lead dogs of their team. And as you can tell, it's not going very well. Although I think 2K underrates Chris Middleton a little bit too much because I think his scoring tendency maybe his scoring tendency is just really down or something. I don't know. But I think he should be a little bit better than that. Austin Rivers, 12.5 off the... Oh, actually, he started. Then KCP with 10 off the bench. Dwight Howard, 9, 11, and 2 blocks, which is what I exactly wanted. Robert Williams was 6 off the bench, and Darius Miller with 4.6 points. Okay, let's see if we can beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round. I seriously doubt it, but you know what? Let's at least try. We're up 2-1. Can we go up 3-1? No, they even it up, and we're down 3-2 to the Timberwolves. Okay, so now let's see if we could potentially beat the Timberwolves, force Game 7, and we do not. So not even close, but... Collin Sexton led the way. KCP was 2nd. Chris Middleton with 13 and 14. Basically, not what I want to see. But, thank you guys so much for watching nonetheless. Leave a like if you did enjoy. And subscribe if you haven't already, of course. But this is Crushables. I'm saying peace.